The NBA has a bunch of prima donnas, and the NBA is letting them get away with it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Hisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, this is going to be a hot take. A lot of people are going to get pissed at me for saying these things, but it is what it is, and it came after what I heard from Adam Silver. So, without further ado, let's talk Adam Silver's comment and how the NBA is filled with a bunch of prima donnas. So recently, and no, sorry, I was about to say Nick Nurse because I do so many Raptor videos. Adam Silver said that he's willing to shrink the season in order to accommodate the players' requests for lesser games and to allow them to, possibly not hit fatigue. Now, there might be research that suggests that yes, a long season like this, the travel, all those things could contribute to fatigue that result in injuries. But there could be research on the other side that says the same thing. It's kind of like the COVID thing that some people say is good for you, some people say it's not. There's research on both sides every freaking time. There's no definite answer when it comes to medical things. So for Adam Silver to be considering this, especially from requests of the players who get paid millions and millions of dollars, who get paid for one game as much as people who would make the same amount of money in 5 years, you're letting them guide this and letting them control the NBA. Okay? The NBA needs to consider this because they are star driven. But why are they stars created? It's because of the fans. The fans pay a big amount of money to come watch James Harden play, come watch, Jason Tatum play, LeBron James play, all of these guys. And these guys are shitting on the fans by sitting out games claiming, hey, we don't want to hit the fatigue. Maybe the NBA needs to reduce the season. What's going to stop them from still load managing? The biggest guy in this damn Kawhi Leonard, and we kind of contributed to that bullshit. So I'm not going to let the Raptors get away with that. So letting these guys, there's no guarantee by you reducing the season, they're going to show up for every game. They're still going to screw the fans over because they do what they want to do. They are prima donnas. They get paid millions and millions of dollars by the fans because the fans are the ones that bring in this revenue by watching it on TV, by watching it in the arenas. They get paid millions and millions of dollars, and now they want to have their cake and eat it too. I think that's what the saying is. They want their money, but they want to work less. I am honestly pissed about this. I agree. Okay, first of all, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I do agree that the season should be reduced. Not because of these damn players, but because it will make the season more competitive. It would take a lot more. Each game will count a lot more. It will require teams to play harder so they can stay in those standings and make the playoffs. But not because of this fatigue bullshit. These guys just want to get paid and not have to work as hard. If I had the opportunity in my life to play cricket for a profession, I would not be resting my ass. Okay? I would not be asking for lesser games. I love that sport. I love playing it. I've played it with broken arm. I've played it with both hamstrings. I've done it with every way I could. And it's not like people come to watch me and all that stuff. I play with like just my friends and stuff like that in a league. But I don't like missing games because I have a passion for this sport. Whereas these guys, NBA has just become a form of payment for them. There doesn't seem to be like a passion for them. And I'm not saying it's all across the NBA, but a lot of these stars are that way, man. And it's just very, very, annoying to see. And for them to get away with it. Like, the fans deserve better than that. These guys, clearly they don't have the passion for the league. They don't have the passion for the sport. By asking for lesser games just because you're a little bit tired or, it might prevent the injuries. Injuries were still there in the bubble season. Injuries were still there in the 72-game season. There hasn't been any season where injuries aren't going to happen. And they're not caused by fatigue. They're caused by players not playing the sport enough, in my opinion. You can't just get up and ask your body to do things. When you load manage for 5 games or 2 games, the next game you're going to run into a wall without a doubt, and that's when you get injured. Whereas if you were constantly playing, your body's getting used to it, your muscles are getting used to it, so you're not going to be as prone to injury as you think you might be just because you're tired. Tiredness is good at times because it makes your muscles work harder and get used to the strain. Whereas resting for a longer period of times, coming back, you're more prone to pull something else for your body to compensate. And these guys they're a bunch of crybabies. For Adam Silver to be even considering this based on the players' input is just utter nonsense. And it's just coddling these douchebags. It's just giving them more, you could say, oil to throw on the fire. Because if it turns out one season they go over 65 games and they still got paid for 82 games, right? And there's maybe one or two less injuries, they're going to be able to use that, even if it's not a big difference. What happens to the rest of the people that actually do those jobs in the arenas that get paid on a daily basis or an hourly basis, who will, lose out on a lot of money because there's 27 less games or 10 less games or 15, however many less games. There's people out there that work 12-hour shifts, standing on their feet, walking around, doing everything 5 days a week and don't get paid as much. And wouldn't even earn as much most of these superstars earn in one season. It is utter stupidity and a lack of empathy for the rest of the people. They are spoiled. And Adam Silver needs to nip this in the bud. If he wants to reduce the season to make it more competitive, go ahead. But don't listen to these players. James Harden gets $50 million next year. He can play one season and be good for the rest of his life. He should not be complaining about fatigue. He gets paid whether he plays or not. So him saying 82 games should be any player saying 82 games should be reduced is kicking other people who need that money to run their home. Like, how can these players just consider themselves to be the center of the world? Because the NBA allows them to do it. Because that's what the ticket prices come in for. But eventually, I think fans are going to realize, especially teams like Raptors, where players constantly play, whether it's big minutes or not. Those things like fatigue can be managed by the coaches during the game by reducing the amount of minutes a player plays. But the Raptors is one of the teams that, regardless of what is happening, their players want to play and they play hard. You don't see them taking games off. I didn't see load management other than freaking Kawhi Leonard. And I think we kind of just, gave him some oil for the fire. The Raptors have a big role to play in that. But now the Raptors, everybody plays. Everybody plays no matter what the hell happens. And for them to be saying, hey, fatigue, we might get injured, this and that. Dude, learn to play through weak-ass injuries. Isaiah Thomas tried to play on a broken ankle. That is a man that has a passion for this sport. These guys clearly do not. This is, a lot of these superstars just consider this a paycheck. It is a paycheck for them. And they rather have that paycheck as in the easiest way than to work hard for it. They might work hard by exercising this and that, but part of your job is to show up for 82 games to entertain the fans. And you're not doing it. And you're asking for lesser of it. And you're kicking other people's wallets by doing that. So Adam Silver needs to consider a lot of things before he listens to these dumbasses. I'm not saying all of the players are like this. I don't doubt that there are players that are great, that have passion for it. But a lot of these stars, like Kyrie Irving, I'm going to name them. Kawhi Leonard. These guys, Ben Simmons. Biggest example. These guys are just running circles around the NBA. It even with hey, I don't want to play here anymore. Man, that team made everything for you. They want to work with you. They want to try to do everything possibly can to keep you there. And you're acting like a bitch. All of these players are. Anthony Davis asking out. Ben Simmons asking out. James Harden trading for two teams, leaving them hanging. It's just utter nonsense. Adam Silver needs to nip a lot of this in the butt. He hasn't. He's been too soft. And it's letting every aspect of NBA just turn into crap. It is not going to be fun watching players sit out, whether it's on TV, whether it's in person. It's just horrible, man. Adam Silver, get your shit together, bro. I didn't want to say it that way, but it is what it is. Fans are upset. Fans will be upset unless you make something very competitive out of it, which I doubt you will, because these guys are still gonna load manage. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hope it wasn't too hard of a take, but it is what it is, and I felt the passion about it. So I will see you guys at my next video where I start reviewing the main players for the Raptors. Oh yeah, please hit that like and subscribe button.